Good morning, good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at the crypto market cap versus XRP, some liquidity, and the Sigma coin. So, all right, shooting through this continual setup that we have here, we had this ABC move off the low that ultimately played out here between these two levels, a sideways accumulation, a smackdown, a sideways accumulation, and a smackdown for XRP on the bottom here. Then a really aggressive ABC back up that took back that entire range, which is pretty impressive considering when it was able to do this on the crypto market cap, it was all the way over here in this price action. And XRP has got a lot of demand. I mean, considering that I was thinking we were only going to get kind of midway back into the supply over here, we squeezed up beautifully overnight and took most of it back here this morning. Notice, though, that we're actually holding on top of this 21-day moving average. So it was a violent 21-day moving average back test. I do think we will ultimately lose that back test, kind of like almost like it's right here in that zone. And then we'll come back up underneath it and reject one more time for our final last dip that we get as an opportunity to buy, which would take us down to this 133 region is what I'm hoping for, right? Somewhere in here, 133, 134. And if we're really lucky, we get down to this 131 zone, right? So this 131 zone would be the equivalent down here. You can see it doesn't make it. The 133 does happen, where we end up getting a back test to this supply. So if we look over here, this would be this supply right here of 131, or this larger grouping right here at the 133. So this guy is the equivalent of that guy, right? So hopefully we get that last entry kind of play out here. And then if that's the case, then we would be looking at a continuation of a breakdown, and we would be either A, sitting somewhere where we're right about here with this price action, or the squeeze up is maybe over here and we had a kind of a truncated version on this zone. So I'm right now leaning towards that this is the area that we're at, and if that's the case, then we're kind of hybridizing this ABC backtest. So there should be at least one more backtest that plays out here to give us an entry. So finally, when we do this for time, let's just assume we're in this middle zone right here, and these two are the same on the price action after the breakdown. We could expect that this will probably play out for a move to a final low coming in at Saturday, and then we would have a bounce back up till May 16th, and then we'd have one more low on May 21st-ish, 20th, 21st. And then we're out of here. That's the fun part that happens next. So this is very aggressive, though. Very aggressive bullish price action with the back test of the 21 being on top of it versus the crypto market cap resisting it, briefly wicking over and coming down. So definitely people are buying the XRPs, which is what we want to see. So liquidity, they killed off all the longs. Longs were having a good time. They were like, we got this. And they were destroyed. And so now we're looking for a squeeze back up to this 144.8 level. So I think they're going to play around a little bit, get some shorts loaded up, and then come in for a gap that's in the futures right at this zone here and try to get these guys scared and close out their positioning. So we'll see how that plays. Jumping over to the Velo data, let's see if this loads. Yes, here we go. They have taken out the longs, right? So the longs were getting way too out of control, and then they crushed them, right? So they've been completely smacked down and destroyed. They flipped them, but spot buying showed up at the same time. So people were buying spot, and they bought up this smackdown, which is where the immediate bounce came into play. You can see this wick right here. This is some of the highest spot buying we've seen in a long time, right? The last time was over here, mid-range, where this person needed it now. And now here we are again at the another back test and a massive spot buying. But they crushed the open interest, resetting it, and destroyed most of the longs. So those are gone. And with all that, Sigma's just chilling. Look at that. Sigma's just hanging out and working its first wave one, its ABC backtest with a higher low. And now it's getting its next leg higher as it starts grinding. So I think good things are on the way for Sigma here very soon. And I think we're looking at a really good setup here where we can squeeze easily to an equal measured move at 266, which would take us right to that 618. That would just be an ABC back up again. Or if we end up having an impulsive structure, we can easily see 619 as the market cap. 6.2 million market cap is what I meant to say. And so really the big area to watch is this 266 million, 2.66 million market cap region. That will be the question mark. And if that happens from anyone who's buying in this price area, you can expect a double. So you get a 200% return, a 2x on your money. And we would see that as a very, very wonderful bullish count here that would push higher. So then if we push beyond that, we would be looking at a return to the prior all-time high as an 11x. So get yourself ready, get yourself in. If you haven't already, you can get 160 million Sigma. Gets you invited into the Sigma Pro engine that we presented in Vegas. So great stuff. So right now I think they're just loading up the shorts, trying to get them back into the game here, thinking it's going to break down further. And Velo data showed us we had a lot of spot buying showing up, which was wonderful, with open interest resetting more healthily than where it was before. So, all right, so we'll continue to monitor XRP, but at this point, we're just waiting for either a squeeze back up and then a rollover, which would take us into this zone right here, or we've moved further along than I thought, and maybe this whole breakdown was this, but I don't think so, because look how far down that came. Yeah, this is this. So yeah, so I think we have one more rollover. This is your last attempt to get some low price XRP. So be ready, be excited, and be grateful for what the market is getting ready to hopefully provide. So, all right, guys, we'll check in soon, and thanks so much for watching.